holding to God's unchanging hand. Circumstances may change. Friends may change. Everything in the world can change, but there is something that is never changing in an ever-changing world. And it is God's word. First, giving honor to God, to Jesus the Christ, who is my Lord and my Savior. To the Holy Spirit, who is our seal and guarantee the redemption of our mortal bodies. To my wife Rosalind, to continue to ruin my gumbo. Back in there with the children, who sang so beautifully today. To my fellow proclaimers, I like to call it the flaming news of Calvary. It's good news what we talk about. If we're talking about the gospel. To our deacons rather, and their spouse. I once was a fellow deacon. To our awesome music ministry, leaders, greeters ministry, usher ministry. We thank God for each and every one of you, and of course to all of the visitors, and to you, the royal family of God, known locally as Deacon King, First Baptist Church. I bid you good morning. If you would be so kind and turn with me to 2 Kings chapter 5. We love to stand for the reading of the word. 2 Kings chapter 5. It's all right if you got to grab that table of contents. It's the easiest book to find because the 2 Kings coming right out of 1 Kings. So it ain't going to be hard to find. 2 Kings chapter 5. I'm going to read and read the verses just as one time, since this is a historical narrative, so it's a few more words than normal. But in 2 Kings chapter 5, beginning with verse 1, I will be reading to you from the New King James translation. You will find these words. Now Naaman, commander of the army of the king of Syria, was a great and honorable man in the eyes of his master, because by him the Lord had given victory to Syria. He was also a mighty man of valor, but a leper. And the Syrians had gone out on raids and had brought back captive a young girl from the land of Israel. She waited on Naaman's wife. Then she said to her mistress, if only my master were with the prophet who's in Samaria, for he would heal him of his leprosy. And Naaman went in and told his master, saying, thus and thus said the girl who is from the land of Israel. Then the king of Syria said, go now, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel. So he departed and took with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 changes of clothing. Then he brought the letter to the king of Israel, which said, now be advised when this letter comes to you that I have sent Naaman, my servant, to you, that you may heal him of his leprosy. And it happened when the king of Israel read the letter, that he tore his clothes and said, am I God to heal and make alive? That this man sends a man to me to heal him of his leprosy. Therefore, please consider and see how he seeks a quarrel with me. So it was when Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, why have you torn your clothes? Please let him come to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. Then Naaman went with his horses and chariots, and he stood at the door of Elisha's house. And Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored to you, and you shall be clean. But Naaman became furious and went away and said, indeed, I said to myself, he will surely come out to me. Stand, call on the name of the Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place and heal the leprosy. Are not the Abanah and the Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. And his servants came near and spoke to him and said, my father, if the prophet had told you to do something great, would you not have done it? How much more then when he says to you, wash and be clean? So he went down and dipped 7 times in the Jordan. And according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child. He was clean. We use for a subject for this morning. It always pays to obey God. You may be seated. It always pays to obey God. Father God, allow me to go down deep in the treasuries of your word. Allow me, Master, to be able to share with your people with accuracy, clarity, depth, and truth, but thus saith the Lord. Anoint me now in your presence and saturate me in your spirit. I come decreasing that you might be increased. And then, Father, I will be careful to give your name all the praise, the honor, and the glory. Because you give the preacher a promise that your word will not return void. It will accomplish what it was sent out to do. Lord, right now, let your word fall on us. It is in Jesus' mighty, everlasting, life-transformational name that I pray and give thanks and ask that you would forgive me of anything I may have said, thought, done, or even looked at contrary to your word. Amen. Amen. Ushers, you may be seated. Obedience to God reflects our love for God. Obedience to God demonstrates our faithfulness to Him. Obedience to God glorifies Him in the world. And obedience to God opens up avenues of blessings for us that can be experienced no other way. Jesus said this in John chapter 14 and verse 15. Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Keep my commandments, in other words, means obey me. Church, faith is necessary to please God, according to Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6. And if our faith is genuine and true, we will strive to live a lifestyle characterized by obedience, even when obeying is difficult. Even when God asks us to do something that seemingly does not make sense to us in our eyes. Therefore, we should obey Jesus' commands, not just because we need to, but because we want to, because we love God. And we are empowered to obey God after we accept Jesus as our Lord and Savior, because we then receive the indwelling presence and power of the Holy Spirit. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4 says it like this. It tells us that greater is He, meaning the Holy Spirit, that lives in us, that He, speaking of the devil and his demons, is of this world. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13 tells us no temptation has overtaken you, such as common to man. God is faithful, and He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear. Because with the temptation, He creates a means of escape that we may be able to bear it. You know, every Sunday, many people come to the church in need of a blessing. Yet from Genesis to Revelation, God's chosen avenue to provide us His choicest blessings are realized when we obey God. I think that went over. We come here in need of a blessing. We come here expecting a blessing. We come here wanting a blessing. And yet we come seeking these things, but I think we fail So in the text, and the Holy Spirit as my guide, I'd like to briefly share with you 3 object lessons regarding the subject. It always pays to obey God. Object lesson number 1. Now, if you ain't shouting all day and ain't had nothing to feel good about this, here you shout right here. You can be favored by God even with flaws. You can be favored by God even with flaws. Let's look at it in the text. But first of all, in Romans chapter 3 and verse 12, it affirms that there is none good, nary one. Now, it say no, not one. I just decided to spice it up a little bit. Not one. So nobody is good in and of themselves. So whatever we do that is good because it was something done in the power and in the anointing of the Holy Spirit. Therefore, everybody has something about them, whether it's a physical defect, it may be something that you have said or done in the past. It may be something that is a present day constant struggle. But all of us have some flaw in life. That's a very good place to insert amen. All of us have some flaw in life. In our text, Naaman, whose name means gracious one, was great in the eyes of his master. He was a supreme commander. He was great and an honorable man of valor. But the real reason that he was victorious was not because of himself, but because of the Lord. To all of my youth, see, I got their attention when I say the word youth. To all my youth and children in the house today, you better realize you are and you will be what God purposed for your life by the grace and the mercy of the Lord. Many of you are the product of grandparents and great-grandparents and parents' prayers. Yes, you have to study, and yes, you have to apply yourself, but it is God's grace and God's mercy that is really charting your course. And please learn this right now. People will celebrate you. People will elevate you today. But you better realize whatever good things that come your way, it was nobody but the Lord who opened the door for you to walk in. You better learn that the same people that you run with now, the same ones who today speak well of you, can be the same ones who deceive and lie on you tomorrow. Now, it's apparent, based on contextual biblical facts, that we already know about leprosy, that at this time in the text, Naaman's leprosy had not been discovered yet. We know this because in the Bible, when somebody had leprosy, they were not celebrated and elevated in society. They were ostracized and taken out of the general population because leprosy is a contagious disease. So Naaman had the disease, but since the symptoms had not been discovered yet, he walked around like everything was all right. See some parallels with us today, y'all? Sounds like a lot of Christians today. Let me tell you something. Some people can come to church and act super holy. They can walk around and act like everything is all right. But that is not always the case. It's just nobody has discovered their problem yet. I mean, you can come into the church every week and act like you don't need marriage counseling and act like you don't need special prayer and act like you don't need counseling for your kids. But what I've learned over time is that those things that are deep down on the inside have a way in time of working themselves out on the outside. But praise the Lord for his word. Praise the Lord, he can still grant us favor and breakthrough even though we have flaws. If we humble ourselves and pray, seek his face, and turn from our wicked ways. And when we do, God can hear our prayer, he can forgive our sin, he can heal and deliver us. In our text, Naaman needs a breakthrough. And let me say this, God has a way of humbling anyone who may think they are a big ball and shot dog. Yeah. God has a way of bringing about something or allowing something to come upon you that your job title can't, that your degrees can't, that your money cannot overcome. There are some things that only can be resolved by you humbling yourself before the Lord in prayer and then faithfully waiting on God to deliver you as you be obedient to whatever he is telling you to do. Yes. Our big lesson, number 2. Yes. Be willing to make sacrifices. In verses 2 through 3, again it says that the Syrians had gone out on raids, brought back captive a young girl from the land of Israel. She waited on Naaman's wife. Then she said to her mistress, if only my master were with the prophet who's in Samaria, for he would heal him of his leprosy. Now, in most raids, think about this. In most raids conducted by an enemy nation, the men were killed unless those men possessed some great talent that was beneficiary to their captives, their captors, rather. The women most often were either killed, raped, and or placed in slavery. The children most often would have been separated from their parents, and they may have even witnessed their parents being killed, raped, and or sold right before their very eyes. On one of Naaman's raids, they captured the Israelite servant girl that is in our text. She is separated from a family. She's serving the wife of the very man who is responsible for her being a slave and serving his wife anyway. Naaman has leprosy. There is no known human cure for it. But yet she says, if only my master were with the prophet who's in Samaria, for he would heal him of leprosy. This passage blows me away. Now, if we are honest, now y'all sitting here just a little bit too quiet on this phase of this text, because I'm talking about a young servant girl, slave girl, who's working for a man that's responsible for her being a slave from the get-go, who may have raped and killed her parents, and yet she has an opportunity to speak to him, and she doesn't say evil, mean things to him. She's not wishing bad on him. She says, oh, if my master could just get down to somebody I know down there in Israel. There's a prophet down there that can heal him. All right. Now, many of us probably would have kept our mouth shut. Oh, yeah. And matter of fact, some would even be probably happy that Naaman has leprosy and is about to suffer because of the suffering that they're going through. But instead, this Israelite girl takes the high road of godlike behavior and with a simple statement points her master towards his desperately needed breakthrough. If you are in a storm, if you are in need of a breakthrough, it is possible that God desires to use you in the midst of your unpleasant situation to be a blessing to somebody else. You may be in a marriage and feel like you've been deceived. You may be on the job and feel like the supervisor has overlooked you for promotion. Or you may be a youth feel like your parents favor another sibling. But if you stay true to the word of God, if you operate in the spirit and not in the flesh, God will bless you and then make you a blessing to others. If you are waiting a breakthrough in your marriage, on your job, with a family member, you must remember forgiveness is essential for your breakthrough. How many of y'all remember a man by the name of Job in the Bible? Yeah, you remember Job? Everybody can think about Job. Most people know that Job got a double blessing. That makes us all feel good. Who don't want a double blessing? But let me tell you something. When did Job get his double blessing? First of all, he had to go through the valley. He had to go through the trials that God allowed in his life. And then, after he went through the trials, before he received his double portion blessing, chapter 42 and verse 10 affirms that Job had to pray for those very people that were mistreating him, that didn't understand him. It wasn't until he exercised obedience to God by forgiving those that then God gave him a double portion blessing. Everybody want that double portion blessing, but how many of you sitting here right now got some folk in your heart you have not forgiven, but yet you waiting on a breakthrough? Let me tell you something. It just don't work like that with God. With God, you're going to have to do the thing that is sometimes very uncomfortable for you to do. But when you do what God say do, as this text is going to plainly let us know, it always pays to obey God. Now, Naaman may have been a decorated member of the army, but he couldn't leave Syria without permission. Look at verse 4. It says, and Naaman went in and told his master, saying, thus and thus said the slave girl who is from the land of Israel. Then the king of Israel said, go now. So he didn't go on his own. He couldn't go until he got what? Permissions to go. So now they're going to talk to my youth children again, don't they? Yes, I am. So you, young adults, it doesn't matter if you're 16, if you're 17, if you're 18. Doesn't matter if you're 25 or you're 35. If you still living in the house with mama and daddy, you still gotta obey the rules of mama and daddy. That's what he's talking about right here. Because if I would have knew there was a kill, you think I'm waiting to go find out how to get over there? But he couldn't leave until he got permission to go. And notice in the text, Naaman listened to the advice of the servant girl. The servant girl's name is not even mentioned. And what God is trying to let us know is that there's a whole lot of people I have as divine appointments set for you if you just listen to them. All right. See, praise the Lord, that God, He gives a voice to the voiceless. Praise God that He can give worth to those who may be considered worthless. Thank you, God, you are an advocate of the disenfranchised. And let me tell you something, our nation is a divided nation because we refuse to listen to those that the high and mighty think have no value or have no worth. God can use the homeless. He can use somebody in jail. He can use somebody penniless to speak a word to you that can have life transformational power. We better come to the realization that God sees all people as being made in His image. Made fearfully and wonderfully. Our nation will be a better nation when Republicans start listening to Democrats, and when Democrats start listening to Republicans, and when both of them start listening to God and obeying His word. We better start letting go of our egos. God can use even your enemy to say something to you that can change your whole situation. And that is the reason why God tells us to pray for our enemies. take notice and pray for the least of these. Church, we better not forget the prisoners. We better not forget the people who live in the projects. We better not forget those who have less than you. We better realize that God has some divine appointments already established for us, whereby we can receive some direction and valuable advice in life if we would simply go and make disciples. In our text, God allowed the Israelite girl to be in captivity. But as we will soon see, it was for a special divine purpose and an opportunity established by our sovereign God in which the works of God might be on public display. In verses 5 and 6, Naaman's willingness to sacrifice further established the groundwork for his miracle. You see, it doesn't matter if you need a breakthrough in your marriage, with your finances, with your children, on the job, or with a signature sinful habit. You must be willing to sacrifice if you want to experience a breakthrough. Now, let me be very careful to make certain you understand that you can't buy God's favor either now. Naaman was taking a whole lot of nice gifts, but let me tell you something, you can't buy God's favor either. And you can't fool God by acting good for a little while until you get your breakthrough. He knows our motive. He knows why we really are doing what we're doing. See, the sacrifice for you that you may need to make to get your breakthrough may be something as simple as you need to separate yourself from people who encourage you to sin. You might need to delete some folk on Facebook. You may need to get up earlier than normal to ensure that you have devotion time with the Lord. Your sacrifice may be that you need to turn off the TV and stop watching programs that promote and highlight sinful living as you pick up the Bible and read, especially your book of the month. But the sacrifice, there's one sacrifice that I have found that has led to the greatest breakthroughs in my life. And it is, you must be willing to offer God the sacrifice of praise and worship. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15 through 16 says it like this. It says, therefore, by him, let us continually offer the sacrifice of praise to God. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. But do not forget to do good and to share, for with such sacrifices, God is well pleased. I don't think you catch it there. Church, praising and worshiping God is a sacrifice because it's not something that we naturally want to do. For the people who say it's not my personality to be emotional in the worship service. I don't say amen out loud. I don't lift up holy hands. I'm not going to stand and sing with no choir when they singing. It don't take all of that. It may not take all of that for you. But maybe this is why you have not received your breakthrough. God may simply have you in your storm to teach you how to praise and worship him anyhow. Sometimes, listen to me carefully, sometimes God allows you to hit rock bottom so that you can learn how to shout about the rock who will be with you at the bottom. Simple obedience to the word of God leads to breakthrough. First of all, we need to know that the power to heal and deliver resides in God alone. Why? Because God is sovereign, all-powerful. He can do what he wants to do because he is who he is. He can work through anyone he chooses, and he can do whatever he chooses to bring about your breakthrough. I know that God never deviates from his word, so praying back the word of God about your trial will lead you to breakthrough. This is one of the reasons why I promote you reading the Bible so much. It's because once you know what God's word has to say about your type of situation, then you can begin to appropriate the scriptures to your problem, to your trial. You can say, God, you say it. God loves it when you come to him and let him know what his word says about your situation. It's not like God has forgotten. He wants you to remember. He wants you to know what his word has to say. And in verses 9 to 14, they're so interesting. Having received the necessary paperwork to go into the enemy's territory, from verse 5, Naaman and his entourage arrived at the prophet of God's residence. They arrived at Elisha's house, expecting him to come out and show them some hospitality and respect. But Elisha, in verse 10, sends out a messenger who told Naaman to simply go down to the Jordan River and dip 7 times. Now, you got to understand this. Naaman's journey to get to Elisha's house was a journey that was about 100 miles. Elisha's servant then comes out and tells Naaman to go wash in the Jordan River. That's another 20 miles from where Elisha lived. And then he was to go dip in the dirty old Jordan River. Elisha's instructions were simple, and in fact, go wash 7 times in the Jordan, and you will be restored. Elisha knew that Naaman had to be humbled before he could be healed. You see, God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. That's what he says in 1 Peter 5 and 5. And then there are 6 things that God says he hates. Number 1 on the list is a proud look. So in verse 11, because Naaman was a pagan, Naaman thought Elisha should have come out personally outside. He thought Naaman should have come out there and did abracadabra, hocus, be gone, leprosy. Like he was some kind of pagan magician or something. Regarding verse 12, the rivers in Damascus were known for their pristine beauty and clarity. It's like he was up there, those rivers in Syria, Damascus is in Syria. Those rivers were like you were out in some Colorado or Utah upper mountain stream where the water's so clear you can drink it right there flowing. That's the kind of rivers they had up there in Damascus. But then they come down here to get healed, and they're going down to the old Jordan River. Muddy Jordan River. Look like the Red River or the Mississippi River. Naaman's pride had to be broken before God could heal, deliver, and make him free. You see, it was not the quality of the water that was going to bring about the breakthrough. It was not being dipped 7 times. I know 17 is the number of completion, but that had nothing to do with why he was going to be healed. He was healed simply because he was obedient to God and did what God's servant told him to do. His healing came through his obedience, not the river, not being dipped 7 times. Church, we are not saved or healed by doing good works. We can't tip God enough in the offering basket to encourage him to save or heal us. It is when we submit to God, when we lay down our pride and say, Lord, I'm a sinner. Lord, save me. Lord, I'm sinking. Lord, rescue me. And then in verse 13 and 14, we discover that Naaman's servant gave Naaman some wise godly counsel. There are many people who will never experience their breakthrough because they're trying to apply worldly advice to spiritual matters. The text says Naaman was willing to do any hard task to be healed, so why not be just as eager to do a simple task? See, when you look at that, simple advice of repent and be converted. Pray and have faith. Accept God's forgiveness is just too simple a solution to their humongous problems. But let me tell you something. That's why we're told, trust in the Lord with all of our heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Notice Naaman did not get healed until he acted upon, until he obeyed the simple request from God's servant. You can see when we begin to obey God, when we begin to do what God tells us to do, that is when we can begin to experience a breakthrough. Church, when we begin walking in righteousness and obedience, you set yourself up for miracles, breakthroughs, and blessings. God said in Psalm 84:11, no good thing will he withhold from those who walk righteously. That means living in obedience to the word of God. Church, God can use the worst of conditions, the worst of situations in our lives for our benefit if we would humble ourselves and learn how to obey him. So if you've been wondering what I've been trying to get across for the last 35 minutes or so, I'll sum it up in one phrase. It always pays to obey God. Let us pray. Father God, a simple message with a simple solution, with a simple way for us to experience what we think are so great, so mighty, so big of problems. Your word lets us know, is there anything too hard for God? Because there's nothing too hard for you, Lord. We simply need to trust and obey you. We simply need to patiently wait on you and let you work things out. We simply need to give it over to you. We simply need to say, Lord, I can't fix this. Lord, I can't work this out. Lord, I can't do it. But I give it to you. Because I know it ain't too big for you. Father, I pray for those in need of a breakthrough today, that they realize their simple obedience to your word is what sets them up, which opens the door for your choicest blessings. It is in your mighty, everlasting, life transformational name that I will always pray and give thanks. Amen. Amen. Let us give the Lord a hand.